Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Aaron Gordon here, and we are back here with the Aaron Gordon podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Welcome my special guest, Mileek McMillan. How's everything been, man?
Man, everything been good, bro. I'm blessed, man. I can't complain at all.
So, man, just to let y'all know on my podcast, this is one of my three favorite teammates, man. So give a hand for him with that. But overall, we're going to talk about a lot of different things just in terms of just, playing in college, playing in high school, just, going through the entire process, what it's like when you're done playing and, doing new ventures. So overall, man, talk to us, man. How'd you get into basketball?
Man, bro. So honestly, bro, I got into basketball. I was playing football for a little while. I played Pop Warner football here in Maryville, and I remember one day I got a concussion. My mom, she wasn't going for it, bro. So she, like, you got to find something else to do. So basketball was just attractive, bro. At the time, I just dove right into it, and so the friends that was around me at the time, we always was playing basketball. I was at the local Boys and Girls Club here in Maryville. We would play basketball all the time. And so I'm like, yeah, this is something that is something I can get into. And so just a little bit about my basketball journey. I got cut seventh grade team. I got cut from the seventh grade team at Pierce Middle School. I was sick about it, bro. I was hurt. I was hurt. I was in the locker room. I was crying, man. I was mad, but I'm like, I'll never get cut again. So eighth grade year, I tried out, made the B team, barely played. Freshman year, high school, I got to Maryville High School. I broke my foot, so I didn't play freshman year. Sophomore year, played JV a little bit, came off the bench, still kind of raw.
Hmm.
Then junior year, I hit a growth spurt. I was about 6'4", 6'5". Started kind of, feeling my way in, like, okay, I can see myself actually doing this. And then senior year, I kind of took off. I grew a couple of inches, but the whole time during the process, bro, I kept stacking up good days, bro. I just kept stacking up the work, stacking up the work. So eventually, man, I was blessed to get a scholarship to Valparaiso University. That's where I met OG, and the rest is history, bro. The rest is history.
So what do you think is the key? You think the key is stacking up good days? Like, so let's say you're in middle school. What do you think is the key for kids to go from a kid who gets cut? Because, I got a lot of kids in my family's academy. And, what do you think is the key from not making it in seventh grade all the way to, being, a most improved team and the Missouri Valley, one of the best mid-major conferences?
Yeah, bro, it's the consistency, man. Finding you a regiment, a routine, something that you can really stick to. And just being faithful, man. Being faithful to the grind, being faithful to the adversity, embracing it all. Like what you do in the dark comes to light all the time.
Mhm.
So steady, stacking good days, you putting in that time, you putting in that effort. Eventually you're gonna start passing them dudes up that, you're gonna start passing players up that was ahead of you at the time. So just being consistent with your effort and having fun with it too. At the end of the day, it's a journey, man. It's not meant to be easy, but if you
Yeah.
if you fall in love with doing the uncomfortable things, eventually you're gonna figure out like it's well worth it.
So what do you think getting cut, did to you mentally? Like, because I know, like, do you feel like it was necessary for you to become the player today, or did you feel like you were always kind of just destined? Like, I know it's a twofold question, but I know some people that they look at different things in different ways. How did you view that moment?
Man, it's a great question, bro. Honestly, bro, I think that just that made my determination much more strong. Like me getting cut, that feeling of not being good enough, I didn't want to have that feeling no more. I
Yeah.
never wanted to experience that feeling again. So it was like, I'm gonna hit the ground running. Every chance I get an opportunity to prove that I'm the best, to prove that, I'm worth it, I made it be known. So I think that I think that had a lot to do with it and just, just my belief in self. Like going against that adversity all the time, it's like you in a constant battle with yourself, and it's like, man, I gotta get better, I gotta get better, I gotta get better, so I got caught up in the involvement of it all rather than feeling defeated. And so I try to use every ounce of adversity as motivation. And so I mean, I could say maybe it was destined a little bit, but
Yeah.
I also felt like I was the master of my fate at the end of the day. And so the work that I put towards it allowed me to manifest. me being a Division I college basketball player and eventually to a pro.
So what was it like when you stepped foot into Maryville? I mean, obviously most of you guys don't know Maryville is a powerhouse of a school. I mean, you're looking at one of the top, 10, 15, athletic programs in the state. What was it like going in there? Someone being cut in seventh grade and being on the B team. What was that entire experience like?
Man, I always felt like the underdog, bro. Like I always felt like I had something to prove. And so a lot of a lot of my friends that I was with at the time, they were known on the basketball scene as far as like Maryville and AAU and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so I was the one that was playing catch up. So I'm like, man, I always felt like I gotta outwork them.
Yeah.
I gotta outwork them. Like, yeah, we cool off the court, but on the court, bro, you gotta feel me. You gotta feel me. And so I end up developing a different attachment for the game, bro. It's like I'm putting in so much work. I know I got a break. And so walking into Maryville as a freshman, bro, I had no expectations. I had no expectations. I went in, I'm like, man, I'm gonna just try as hard as I can. I'm gonna work as hard as I can. And so it's a funny story I want to share with you, man. Me and Coach Lux, it's a great guy right there.
Hmm.
One of my mentors, somebody that I look up to. Um, my freshman year, so the Maryville locker room is divided like it's varsity on this side. So we have varsity is closest to the coach's office, JV on this side. So it's like a locker room. It's a locker right here, varsity, JV, and then freshman on this side, all the way
Yeah.
where you never see coach. You can't even see coach's office from the freshman place. And
Yeah.
so I was sitting in there. I was sitting on the varsity side, and he like, "What you doing, freshman?" He's like, "You ain't supposed to be over here." And I'm gonna be sitting in this seat playing for you one day. And so it was funny, bro. We always talk about that, but it was like I was already putting it out there. Like I was already putting it out there. Like I'm gonna be here one day. And surely enough, man, I was blessed to sit in that seat on the varsity side and play for a coach like that. So it was good.
What was it like being, being number one in the state at one point, winning sectionals, and being in some really, really good battles just throughout your high school years? What was that like playing with multiple other, Division I players? Actually, a couple in the Missouri Valley. What was that entire process like? Because not that many guys can say like I played with two other dudes that played D1 in high school.
Yeah, bro. Practices were so competitive, bro. Like you would think it was a college practice, bro. Like
Yeah,
every day we were competing like no other, bro. We would compete in the weight room. We would compete on the court. It was so competitive, bro. That's where I kind of gained my competitive nature from, bro. So we had DJ Wilkins who Drake. We had Jarius Stevens who played at IPFW, played at he played at I think played at a couple Division Ones. We
hmm
had Marcel Cherry, bro. We had Johnny Bernard. We had Cameron Wilbon, Jonah Jackson. Um, we had a bunch of players, bro, go D1, and so those are just some of the top guys that were in my class at that time, and that was above me. And bro, it was hell, bro. It was hell.
yeah.
Like we really got after it, and Coach Lux always raised the standard. He like, man, kill these young dudes. We were the young dudes at the time. He like, man, y'all gotta kill them every single day. Kill them, kill them. And so we end up just taking that on. Like that made us killers, bro. And so
Yeah.
it was a real competitive environment, bro.
So what was your recruitment process like? I know you obviously personally I do, but for someone who doesn't really know your story, like what was your recruitment process like? I know you grew a lot going into your junior year. So what was it like? Because I know everybody's recruitment process is a little different.
Yeah, bro. So for me, I wasn't getting recruited until my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
My my senior summer. It was like senior summer, like early. Actually, no, I didn't get my first scholarship until the beginning of my senior year. And so my AAU process was like my 15U year. I played for just a club team here in Gary, Indiana, and it was good for me. It was good for me. It was kind of where I got my competitive nature for the game
Hmm.
from. Um, Midwest. It was called Midwest Stars. I played with them. It was good for me. Then my next year, I played for another region team. Cannot remember the name of that team, but it was with Petey, Bo, Cam. It was a few guys from the area. It was a region team, so I played with them. That was good. I kind of feeling my way, like where I was kind of at as far as like people that's in my region, where I was kind of matching up against with the people in my
Yeah.
region, as far as, like, just who was the best. And then my 17U year, I played with the Illinois Wolves Under Armour circuit team,
Yeah.
and that I really was like exposed to like high level basketball as far as AAU circuit. Like it was killers. It was some killers there. So going there and seeing that, I was like, oh yeah, like this is what it really looked like. And so I ended up leaving them and going to Indiana Elite second team was where I met Coach Christoph.
Yeah.
And I ended up playing for him and his father. And that was when I really started getting exposure. I started getting exposure there. Kind of people was kind of seeing my talent. They was like, man, he tall, he can shoot it a little bit, post up a little bit, got a motor. And so I had went to a camp actually in Indianapolis, bro. I went to a camp in Indianapolis. It was
In the gym hoops.
in the Gym Hoops camp.
Yeah.
It was the Gym Hoops camp. And
I was supposed to go to that, but I think I was actually out of town.
yeah, bro, and that's
Yeah.
that's when my recruitment took off there. So
Mhm.
my first offer was from Kansas City, UMKC. It was from UMKC.
Mhm.
That was my first offer. My second offer was from Eastern Illinois, and then my third offer was from Valparaiso University. And so I ended up signing early that the beginning of my senior year. Stayed home, hometown kid, stayed
Mhm.
home. And so that was the decision I made, bro.
So what was it like when you first arrived at Valpo?
Man, uh it was different, bro. It was a culture shock for me, bro.
Yeah.
Just being from Maryville, I'm around a lot of, people from the culture, a lot of black
Yeah.
people. And so being around going to Valparaiso,
And it's only like a 15-minute drive. It's not like you're
yeah, and
going
it's
like an
but
hour.
it's yeah, bro, but it's a totally different dynamic.
Yeah.
It's a totally different dynamic, bro. And so being around other races, being in it's a private school too. So it was
Yeah.
like it was a culture shock for me, bro. I was like, man, this is different. Like I remember when I got there, like people that I would talk to, they were like, man, you talk aggressive. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it was like that's what I'm used to, bro. So it was like kind of understanding and just learning, like, being able to relate to different cultures, being able to accept cultures for who they are, and be able to find a common ground as far as like, okay, how can I better communicate? How can I come off, and not changing who I am as a person, but being able to confide and be able to have productive conversations so that you know I can I can excel, bro. And so I think going from Maryville to going to Valpo helped me in a bunch of ways.
So, I mean, I get this question a lot, man. And, obviously playing at Valpo, the two questions I get most was like, what was the tournament run like for you? Because I get that question a lot. What was that tournament, run like for you? And what was it like playing through COVID? Those are the two questions I get. Like out of all the questions I get from like playing at Valpo, those are the two questions I probably get most. So I'm gonna hand those questions off to you, so I get those like literally like every other week.
Bro, I'm gonna start off with that tournament run, bro. You
Yeah,
know, that was something special, bro. It was like we started clicking finally at the end of the
yeah,
year. Started clicking at the end of the year. We had grabbed a couple good wins towards the end of the year. I remember we almost set a record for Valparaiso history. 3 points made in a one game against Bradley when we played them
yeah.
at the house. We were the whole
You're
year. I
clicking
felt like that year we were like right there on the border. Like we was like
right
we were
there.
figuring out. Yeah, we were figuring out, and then we would lose some close games, and then we had a bunch of young dogs who were really good. We had Donovan Clay at Missouri State. We had Ben Cricky, just won our first team All MVC.
Yeah,
We had Zion, Nick, Javon, who's playing for Chicago Bulls G League.
yeah.
Um, So we had a lot of players, bro. We had John Kaiser, Ryan Fazekas. And so we had the talent. The talent was never the question. It was just how can we get everything to jail? And so I felt like in that tournament run, we just went balls to the wall, bro. Like we left
Yeah, that was
everything out.
crazy.
We emptied the tank, bro. We left everything out there. And so that first game, Evansville, that was a close game,
Yeah,
bro.
that was a close game, man.
That was a close game, bro. Like,
People don't realize that like that year, like everyone talked about like how bad Evansville was. I mean, they had multiple coaching changes. They had literally four coaches in that one year. They beat Kentucky that year. I don't think people give them that credit that year. Like they were a tough team. Like it's funny because we beat them all three games. But you want to know how many the differential was? We beat them by a total of 3 points all year. Every single game we only beat them by 1 point.
exactly.
That's
Exactly.
crazy.
That's crazy, bro. And so Evansville had nothing to lose going
Yeah.
into the game. They were the last seed, I believe.
Yeah.
And,
We were seventh, they were 10th.
yeah. And so a game like that is like,
Tough.
what's your approach going into that? It's like if you lose that game, it's like it takes away all momentum. And so we end up getting past that game. Then we had the big test the next
Yeah.
day, Loyola. And
Yeah.
then that game to me was just the epitome of our season, bro.
Yeah.
Like we just gonna fight. We just gonna fight.
We're
We
gonna
gonna
keep
fight.
fighting.
We gonna keep fighting, bro. And,
Because we
and
were down, dude. When you here's the thing, like it's funny, like I haven't even rewatched that game, like because I was the type of dude, like once that season was over, it was COVID. So like I was just like, man, I'm just chill. I'm not gonna watch no film. I didn't know if we were going to even play next year. But like that game, like I remember we were down by like 18, but like like 13 minutes left. I'm sitting back here like, dang.
I'm like, hey, this how we going out? But bro, we kept persevering, bro. We just showed our resilience at the perfect time, bro.
Yeah.
And I knew if we won that game, I'm like, bro, we're gonna make it to the championship game,
Yeah.
bro. I knew if we could beat past Loyola, we was gonna win the rest. So, man, we got past Loyola.
And then here's the thing: I don't think people understand how good that Missouri State team was that we beat.
Bro,
You
that
gotta
Missouri
remember,
team was
Tulio De Silva was
good.
on that team, and I just
Yeah,
played against Tulio De Silva in the FIBA International Cup, and he's doing well. Like, and I'm like, damn, you was on that team too. Like, they were good. They had the one dude he ended up playing in the with the Charlotte Hornets preseason. I'm
mm-hmm.
like, dude, they had a lot of players. They had a ton of players.
For real, bro. And that's what I'm saying, bro. It was like we had the talent, bro. We had the talent to go far that year. It
Yeah,
was getting everything to work for itself. And
yeah,
so I think when that tournament came, and Vaughn wasn't feeling that well either
yeah,
the first couple games. So it's like
yeah,
we just had to figure it out. But man, that tournament round, bro, was special, bro. It took everything out of us, bro. But I think the most important thing was that we found that camaraderie, bro.
yeah,
Like we sold out.
yeah,
We
100%.
completely bought in. We completely bought in, bro. During that tournament run, everybody bought in, bro. From the managers, from the last player on the bench, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody bought in, and so a tournament run was special, bro. I wish we wouldn't have ran out of gas in that last
Yeah, we
game.
ran out of gas.
Ran out of,
You know what? I say this: if we play three games, I mean, if we play two games before that game, I think we win. But playing
yeah.
three and then that fourth one on Sunday was tough.
And Bradley was good too.
You want to know the craziest the craziest thing, Leak? It was funny because Kevin Harlan actually did that game. That was his second last college game that he actually called. He called one in the tournament after that. Yeah, that was second last college game, and he did the NBA playoffs after that.
See, man, it was meant to be, bro.
It was meant to be because what's so funny. We were talking so much before about like how amazing that is, like for him to call that game, and he actually called that game. And I didn't realize that until you go back and like you see and you hear some of the highlights because I didn't look at the Bradley game either. But when
Yeah,
you hear the highlights of it, it's Kevin Harlan in the background and Chris Webber.
that's iconic, bro.
Yeah, it's iconic, man. It can't get no better. But let's get to playing through COVID because I get this question a lot. What was COVID like, playing through COVID like for you? I mean, obviously I know we talked about it a couple of different times, but what was it like for you?
Man, bro, COVID was COVID was rough to play through, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly,
How rough was it to go to school? Like, man, like I know it's like I think people gotta understand like COVID was a different sort of beast. Like going to
yeah.
school, playing, just interacting with people. What was it like for you?
So for me, bro, going into that summer, bro, I was just working relentlessly, bro, because I had a so-called breakout year the year before my
Yeah.
junior year where I played really well. So my mentality going into the year was like, this my year. Like senior year, this my year to really show the world who I am. And so
Hmm.
going that year, bro, I was just grinding, bro. I'm grinding, I'm working out, and I wouldn't say I wasn't taking care of my body, but I wasn't giving my body enough chance to rest. And
But
so
yeah.
just mentally and physically, bro, I was drained by the
Yeah.
time preseason came, bro. And so I remember I ended up getting a little a little stress fracture in my back.
Hmm.
I was just going so hard, bro. And so when that came, I had put on a couple pounds, bro. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
COVID was a beast, bro. Oh, it
Yeah.
was. I ended up getting COVID. I ended up catching COVID that year, and
Oh, everybody did on our team all at the
yeah,
same time.
yeah, bro. And but people don't understand really just how things went. Like you had to be in quarantine for
Yeah,
14
like
days, and
that
like
was the toughest thing. That's the thing that I think a lot of people didn't look at when it came to quarantining back then because there was no protocol really. It was just if you catch
right,
COVID, you're around someone COVID, you stay in the house for 14 days. And one thing that people don't realize is like with an athlete's body, it's not that you're not playing for 14 days, it's that you're sitting for 14 days. And then you got to go back into playing at that level. I don't think people understand like in mentally, like when they see, okay, they're not playing in their mind, they're still thinking, okay, they're probably still, working out, running, handling, you know what I'm saying? No, we're
yeah,
not doing any of that. We're literally just sitting on the couch because we can't move, we can't go anywhere. So, like,
right,
even that stuff that, you go home and you do your little plyometrics, that's all you can do, the band work or whatever. That's not anything. Like, when
yeah,
you're out, you're out.
yeah, bro. And I think for me, it was around a time where I really was like, I feel like COVID kind of gave me some extra like anxiety in a sense to where we didn't really have that much information about what it was
Yeah.
and so like for me it was like, well, what's the next steps for me moving forward? Is this something that can be fatal? Is this something that can have long lasting effects? Is
Yeah.
like I'm just thinking about all of this, things
Yeah.
that could go wrong, bro. And so just having all of that stress built up in my mind, it was affecting my body too, bro. So it was like that year was just rough, bro. That year was
Mhm.
rough, bro. And just us having a just we were quarantined. We were quarantined before. I remember before we played Vanderbilt, bro.
You
Some
were
of us had
quarantined.
practice.
Yeah.
We hadn't practiced, bro.
Yeah. We haven't practiced with the full team at all. Like, we literally going in
Yeah,
there. I mean, we had our team, but we didn't really practice. Like it's crazy. Like some of the freshmen, like Connor and Sheldon, I'm like, dude, we y'all haven't even really practiced with us. Like at least like some of the other guys like we don't played. I'm like, dude, no one's
yeah,
even really played with Connor or Sheldon that much. Like it's crazy. Like we went into that season with a lot of the freshmen who were playing a lot, and I'm like, man, like we haven't even really practiced together.
yeah, bro. So, and just being able to get through that season was just enough for me. Like
Yeah, that was a tough year
it,
to get through, man.
yeah, bro. It was extremely tough, bro. It was extremely tough and even just finishing school, bro. Like you couldn't go face to face. Everything was online. It was like if
Yeah.
you needed help with class, it was just a different world. It was a different world, bro. And we hadn't seen anything like that
Yeah,
before.
we
And
seen
so
nothing like that.
yeah, we had seen nothing like that before. So for me, bro, I would say it was just one of them seasons I had to get through rather than really trying to hone in on the season and just be, you know, producing. I didn't produce well that season at all, bro. And it's no fault. It's no fault of anybody's, bro.
Yeah,
It was just
nobody. Yeah, I mean, I've spoken with that to a lot of different people, man. Like that year was a tough year, man. Like
yeah,
honestly, like I say this all the time. I think the entire we should have probably just shut down that year. Like
yeah,
it was. I think by mid-January we should just packed it in.
yeah, bro.
We should just packed it in.
Yeah, it was a lot going on, bro.
Yeah. So what was that move like to Western? I mean, obviously we did, but like someone who doesn't know, like what was that move like to go to Western and you know to go over there and you know for yourself to have a really good season?
Yeah, bro. Western was a blessing, bro. Blessing in
Yeah,
disguise. I would say that
not too far.
yeah, not too far, only 2 hours away from the crib. It was a blessing for me, bro. It's funny too because me playing for Christoph
Yeah,
in high school kept those same relationships, kept a relationship with him, and he was an assistant coach at Western, so it was perfect for when I was ready to leave Valparaiso. And
yeah.
huge shout out to Valpo, man. Valpo is definitely a part of me for sure.
Hmm.
But Western was different, bro. It was kind of my first time actually being having a real college
Yeah,
experience,
like
bro.
a college campus
Yeah,
experience because I
yes.
think we all know that you know Valpo's an international school. It's a
Hmm.
school where a lot of people are commuting. It's you know it's not a full campus, I would say.
Right.
When you go to those schools like Western Michigan, I mean, you have 20,000 people that are living on campus. This isn't a commuter school. Like people are living on campus, and I know that brought a different atmosphere to you? Because I know when I went from Seton Hall to Valpo, I knew it was a different experience. But from Westland to Valpo was definitely got to be much different.
Yeah, bro. It was first time me going to like football games where it's like a stadium,
Yeah,
tailgating, like they run out on the horse for the football game. I'm like, bro, this is nuts. Like this is
yeah,
crazy, bro. And so like having black fraternities, there being like a downtown area, with Chicago only being an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours away, Detroit being 2 hours away, Grand Rapids being 45 minutes away, like I was really kind of able to venture out and see different things, bro.
yeah.
Um, and just being at Western Michigan, bro. The staff was phenomenal, bro. I've made some really good relationships with staff member there, um, and I grew there. I grew there just as a person. I
Mhm.
matured there. I felt like, um, with me being a fifth year, bro, it was like I was there to bring value to the team. So it was like whatever I was doing, whatever I was good at the time, is like, all right, how can I bring value to this unit? And so it was kind of different from being at Valpo and being at Western. With me being at Valpo, it was like I had been there, I had kind of established myself, I was
Mhm.
still growing. When I got to Western, it was like, all right, League, what do you do well? How can you maximize your time here? What is it that you do well? Be there, do it. And then I had to be a mentor too, bro. So
Yeah,
I had a lot of young dogs under me who was, looking up to me. And so it just made me more mature, bro, as a person. You know, just finding a routine that worked best for me. But also having fun at the same time, bro. Getting out into the community, bro. Going to football games, tailgating, meeting different fraternities, going out to the different cities and just
hmm,
experiencing more than Indiana. I had been in Indiana all my life. So having a chance to go to Michigan and just kind of see a different state and just see how the culture was different was a blessing. And so a little story, I was going pro this summer. I was going pro this summer.
Oh
And
yeah, so let's go right into that because I was going to talk about. So, what's the process been like since you've been out of college?
yeah, bro. So for those who don't know, I blew my knee out this summer, training. And so I was about to head. I had four contract offers. I had a couple offers overseas, and I had Cavaliers G League. And so I blew my knee out a week before signing my contract. And so I'm like, man, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I'm like, what I'm gonna do next? And so my first thought was like, all right, bro, you can't just sit around. So I'm like, you know what? Let me try to get back into school because I had already started on my master's degree my fifth year. So I'm like, let
Yeah,
me get back into school. And so God willingly, bro, I was able to get back in school. So I got back enrolled in school, was able to work on my master. But I'm like, man, I need a way. I need to find a way to pay for it.
yeah,
So I was sitting in the gym one day. The new class that was coming in, the freshmen, all the returners, they were coming in and they were having like open gyms. You know how the summer goes.
yeah.
And so the new senior associate director of Broncos Empowered, which is a new department within our athletics at Western Michigan. His name is Julian Jones. Great person, great. He's a great
Mhm.
brother. And so he comes in, he's watching, and he like, man, what's up with you? I'm like, man, I just blew my knee out, bro. I'm chilling right now. I'm trying to figure out something to do. I'm trying to get back into school. And so, lo and behold, bro, this dude is the same dude who just got hired to be the senior associate athletic director at Western, and he was looking for a graduate assistant, bro. So I'm like, bro, this is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy, bro. And so we end up chopping it up. We got that done, and so now I'm currently rehabbing my knee. I'm 7 months post surgery. I'm back jogging.
Hmm.
Um, starting to get back on the court, do some workouts, do some shooting workouts. I'm taking my time with it, but most importantly, bro, I'm getting out into the community, bro. I work for Western Michigan as a community service outreach coordinator, and
Hmm.
so that's my job as a graduate assistant in the athletic department. So I get out into the community, bro. I work with nonprofit organizations. I create opportunities for student athletes to get out into the community and just build their brand, bro.
Hmm.
That's one of the main goals that we try to do with Broncos Empowered. Julian Jones, he's a master in professional development, student athlete professional development, bro. And so he's done a phenomenal job, and that's my part of being a team. And so what I've noticed is the same things that I've learned from the game of basketball translate exactly to the business world, bro. It's the
Yeah.
same. It's the same thing. It's just I'm not going in lacing up my shoes to play. I'm not putting on a jersey. I'm
Hmm.
putting on a tie. But it's the same goal. It's camaraderie. It's teamwork. It's performance. It's producing. You know what I'm saying? And so me being able to be in that space has allowed me to grow. Um, it has allowed me to grow, bro. It's giving me some business etiquette. It's giving me some business experience, some professional experience that when I'm done playing, bro, I feel like this is something I would love to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's good, man. I always feel like, man, that's the key is to always, try to attack what you like and what you enjoy. Because I feel like people do best in what they, like and enjoy. So before we get off,
Absolutely.
man, I always got, two things that we always got to chop up and do. First question is, what would you tell yourself? What advice would you have to anybody that's going through any circumstance that you went through, or just anything in life? Any words of wisdom? And we got this game that we got to do. But before we do all that, I just gonna let y'all know there's a reason why I didn't bring up our Canada trip like how I would have, because we're going to do a whole. Here's the thing: we're going to do a whole separate podcast just on the Canada trip.
Yeah,
Because no,
dog.
in all seriousness, I do think that people have to understand what's on that north border is amazing. And like going to Montreal, that's not a city that a lot of people talk about because there's no pop culture. It's very Europeanized. It doesn't have the same flair as a Vancouver, and obviously not like a Toronto. But Montreal was an amazing place, and I definitely want to chop it up with somebody who was there with me when we were there. So we got to do just a separate podcast on that. We're actually going to have some clips, some unseen footage, not the scene footage that y'all seen on my YouTube channel, some of the other footage that I've got of us, while we were out there. So be tuned in for that. But either way, let's get right to it. What advice or what pretty much, yeah, what advice do you have for anybody that is going through your situation?
Yeah, bro. First and foremost, I would say, believe in yourself, man. Understanding the laws of the universe, understanding, the laws of extreme confidence, the laws of belief, um, you know, doubling down, bro, really, really doubling down and betting on yourself, bro. Spending some time to isolate yourself and understand knowledge of self. Who am I? How can I continue to be resilient? How can I continue to maximize my experiences in whichever circumstance that I've been given? You got to deal with the cards that you've been dealt. So understanding that things take time. Patience is a virtue, literally. Like
Mm-hmm.
things take time. So just having faith in the Most High God, you know, and really believing it, really believing in what it is that you believe that you can do.
Man, that's dope, man. Much appreciated. So
Sir.
I got one game,
All right,
and
bet.
it's going to be 30 questions. It's a yes or no. Well, not yes or no, but a this or that type question.
All
So I
right.
got 30. I honestly think my over under would be 22. And I said that specifically for you. Now, I normally fail on these, but actually, my last podcast, I guess Rebecca, she was the first person I got over. So I think I should be pretty good with Mileek on this one.
All right, so
So
bet.
here we go. First question: vacation or staycation?
Vacation.
Netflix or Hulu?
Hulu.
Ooh. Night or morning?
Night.
Rich and famous or rich and unknown?
Rich and famous.
Passenger or driver?
Driver.
Art museum or history museum?
Art museum.
Car or bike?
Car.
Train or airplane?
Airplane.
You have to owe someone money or you have to owe someone a favor?
Also want a favor.
Yeah. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Be embarrassed or be afraid?
Be embarrassed.
City or countryside?
City.
Smartphone or tablet?
Smartphone.
I know I'm gonna get this next one right. Wine or beer?
Wine.
Camping or glamping? I don't even know what glamping is.
I would say camping.
Cooking or being cooked for?
Cooking.
Roommates or live alone?
Roommates.
Attend a party or host a party?
Hosted.
Lose sleep or skip a meal?
Skip a meal.
Now this one I know this is gonna be a tough one. Hang out with little kids or hang out with old folks?
I like getting wisdom, bro. I'm gonna hang out with the old heads.
Yeah. Sweating or shivering?
Wedding.
Ambitious or comfort?
Ambitious.
Sneakers or dress shoes?
Sneakers.
Fiction or nonfiction?
Fiction.
Cash or credit?
Credit.
Espresso or drip coffee?
I'm gonna go drip coffee.
Hot coffee or iced coffee?
Iced coffee.
Reality show or documentary?
Documentary.
Red wine or white wine?
Red wine.
All right, this is a big one. I'm already over, but this is a big one. Salad or sandwich?
Sandwich.
All right. Hey, out of the 30, I got 24 right, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, okay, OG.
That's pretty good. I got 24 out of 30. I'm doing pretty good.
Yes, sir.
I only messed up on roommates or live alone. I messed up on car or bike because I know that you love riding a bike.
Yeah.
I messed up on Netflix or Hulu. Definitely thought you were a Netflix guy. And I messed up on, which one was it? Hang out with little kids or old folks, but I know you like both. So it's like you like being the OG, you like being the young G around the OG. So I was like, I'll let that one go. Well, 24 out of 30 is not bad. But either way, thanks, y'all, for tuning in, man. This was definitely one of my favorite podcasts. It was a shorter one, but that just means that we got another one coming here soon. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, Mileek. Let everyone know where they can follow you at.
Man, you guys can follow me on Instagram at OGLeak22, TikTok OGLeak22, and I'll be getting my Twitter and everything updated. So I'm not on that right now, but Instagram and TikTok, you can follow me at OGLeak22.
All right, for sure, man. Thanks for joining in, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.